Hey guys, welcome back to WTF Homestead. I'm Jenny. I thought I would come out and kind of do like an update on the garden, and I have a few things that I need to get done. I put in these T-posts. We just have some old T-posts. They're all bent and we're not going to use them for anything else. So I thought, well, I'll try to make use of them out here in the garden. So I did put up 4 T-posts, 2 in the end of this bed with my peppers and 2 in the end of that bed with my tomatoes. And I'm going to do an archway between these 2, and I'm going to grow my squash and zucchini on it. I don't know if this is a really good place since it's next to my tomatoes and peppers, but I've got a little bit limited space and this looked like the best one, so we're going to go for it. We'll see how it works this year. But I'm so excited because I put a bunch of things out that I thought I had lost, and I came out yesterday, but it was getting dark, so I figured I'd wait until this morning to come do this video, because a lot of things that I thought I had lost have started growing back or redone or whatever. I'm not really sure. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I've got my fencing here. I'm not using cattle panels just because we have some fencing left over from when we fenced off our property, and so I'm just going to use what we've got. I don't want to spend any more money if I don't have to, so that's what I'm going to be using to make my archway here. And then I'm also going to be building my trellis for my tomatoes. I'm going to be doing the string method, so I'm going to be doing some 2x4 posts and then running the strings down from there. So I'll show you guys what I'm going to do on that part. And then I have my 2 extra metal raised beds that I've had in for probably about 2 weeks now, and I still have not gotten them together, and I'm determined to get those together and get them filled today and hopefully get them planted. If I don't get them planted today, they will be planted tomorrow. We've got some more really horrible weather coming this way. I don't know if anybody else is having a hard time getting started this year, because I want to get out and get started, and I've had so many things that have stopped me, and the weather being one of the big ones. So I think everybody's kind of having a little bit of freak weather stuff going on right now, but I'm determined we're going to get it going, and what I have so far is growing really well, so I'm really happy with it. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, so I'm going to start on the pepper bed. These are all of my peppers, and they're doing really well. And I have a mix in here. There's hot peppers, jalapenos, habaneros. The trident pepper I actually looked up, and that's the biggest one at the very back there. There are 2 of those, and that's a I believe it was a type of poblano, and I did not realize that, which is really cool because I'm gonna love that. So anyway, there's kind of a mix between bell peppers and hot peppers and things in this bed here. Anyway, I've also done a mix of pruning and not pruning. If you go online, there are those that are very pro-pruning and those that are adamantly against it. They both had very good arguments to me, so I actually have a mix. Some of these are pruned and some of them are not. So I'm going to kind of do my own little experiment and see what I like for me. But anyway, so they are all doing awesome. They are doing great. I'm very happy with my pepper stuff so far. The only other thing I have planted in this bed right now are along this edge right here. I planted a combination of marigolds and zinnias. And when I planted these, I planted them very heavily because my marigold seeds, I believe the date on them was a 2013. And so I didn't think I was going to get a very good germination rate on them. But when I came out a few days later, I had a ton of little sprouts through here, so much so that I was really thinking I'm going to have to weed them out a little bit so that they'll grow. And then I came back the next day or the day after and looked at them, and they were all gone. So I am assuming that some little bird had one heck of a feast out here and plucked them all out. And I thought I was going to have to just completely replant, but as you can see, I have right through here, I have a couple of little ones that are coming back up. So I'll probably have to plant something over here in this area, which is fine. I actually did buy a couple of flowers at my local nursery the other day. They had a pretty good price on a few, so I may just plop a couple of those in there. But this bed is doing really good. I'm very happy with it. And the same thing down here on this end. I planted, I believe this is the same combination of zinnias and marigolds down here. And I did that before I had decided that I was going to put this trellis up right here. So I really don't know how well. I'm not going to pull them out. I'm going to leave them alone. But I have a feeling most of those will probably die off. But kind of irritated that I didn't think this through. But I honestly had a different idea, a different placement for this this trellis here, but it wasn't going to work. So yeah, anyway, gonna have to figure that out. Okay, so the next bed is going to be the tomato bed, which is right here. So there's the other side of the trellis. I'm going to put it here, and then I planted my zucchini, and this is what made me come out and I thought, oh, I got to get my trellis going because look at this, my zucchinis are doing really, really good. They're doing so good. So I've got to get that done. So I'm gonna get that done today. And then I have all of my tomatoes, and these are all the indeterminate tomatoes. So these are all doing really well. I'm really happy with them. There are a couple that are, all of these smaller ones are called a Cherokee Purple, and I'm not really sure about those. They are growing a little bit slower, but I've been reading up on them, and it looks like that most people get a very good harvest out of those. They're a larger, like a beefsteak type tomato. So, but they were all the same size, roughly, when I bought them. I guess they were a little bit smaller, but they seem to be taking off a little bit slower. But the coolest thing about this bed, well, let me, before I stop, so I have one basil plant here, and then I have one more down there, and they are doing awesome. And if you can tell, they've got little buds on the top. They're flowering, so exciting. But the best thing about this bed is I planted a ton of carrots, probably way too thick for what I needed. And I hope you can see that little line all the way through between my my tomato plants. I planted carrots all the way through, and I didn't think, when I came out and I saw that the birds had gotten all those other little seeds, I knew that I had a few of these little sprouts that had come up, and I thought, oh man, I've lost all of my carrots. But I want you to see this. Look at this. I've got so many all in between here. All those little bitty fine hairs are all of my little carrots. I'm so excited. So this bed is doing really good too. That little, it's a lid that I did a combination of the borax and sugar and made a paste and put it on that for, this bed had some ants in it, and I haven't seen any in a couple of days, so I'm hoping that that worked. But the worst place that I have ants, the worst, is in my greenhouse. They are so incredibly bad in there. I get eaten up every time I go in there. And I so far, I'm not finding anything that's working, not even the borax. So I don't know what I'm gonna do in there. All I've planted in there is just that little bit of garlic. We'll go in there in a minute and I'll show you, because the ants are just so bad. So again, I still have these buckets. They still have nothing in them. And I've got to get to these. I've got to get them done. This is the update on that little tree. And these are some more, I believe I just put zinnias. I think I had the end of the package and I just sprinkled them in here. Those little ones that are coming up down there. So then this bed over here, the update on these are the aroma tomatoes that were not doing well. I have 4 that I have kept. And if you can see, I'm getting new growth down in here in the bottom, but this has been, I mean, they're the same age as those other tomato plants over there, so you can see the difference in the size of them. They are looking healthier. I did come out and pluck the leaves off of these 2 down here, and they seem to be doing better, so I think I'll go ahead and, I'll do that right now. I'll just go ahead and pluck these leaves off of these right here. But I don't know, I'm going to leave them just because they're growing, and so I want to see what they're going to do. But I believe that at this point, from what I've read, their growth has probably been stunted so bad that if I get a harvest off of them, it's probably not going to be very much. So I'm not sure what I'm going to put in this bed. I will do something, but I don't know if I'm going to put any more tomatoes in this. I'll probably do something else in here. I think I have enough tomato plants over there, and I am going to plant some of the Romas in my greenhouse, and I'm going to succession plant them. So I'm trying to get some out here in the next day or so, and then I'm going to wait a couple of weeks and do a couple of more, and I'm going to try to get those where they will come off in stages so I can have, you know, a little bit along instead of a bunch all at one time. So next is the update on, this is my horseradish root, and I keep plucking these little, I don't see them on here now, little tiny worms off of these, and for whatever reason it keeps attacking this center one. See, it's just wreaked havoc on this little leaf here. I keep pulling them off, and the others seem to be doing really well, but it's doing really good. Last year I had one leaf that came up on this, so I'm so excited for that to do its thing. So, oh wait, I'm lying. I'm sorry. No. This is not horseradish. This is my turmeric. And I did not get this to come up last year. I had like one little stem that kind of popped up, but it never really opened up and made a leaf. I planted it really late, and so I really wasn't sure if it was going to do anything. So all I did was pull these out, and this is what I've gotten so far this year. So that's right. This is the turmeric. I don't know why I always get these two confused, but that's what that is. Okay, and then potatoes. Those two are still laying there. I've decided not to do my potatoes in these buckets, but I may go ahead and leave this one and that one right there beside it, since they're already coming up really good. And from what I've read, you do not want to transplant root vegetables. They're real finicky and don't like it. So I'll probably leave these alone and see what they're going to do. But I do think I'm just going to do the hay bales. I think I'll like that better. So I'll be getting those done here pretty soon. And then this over here is the horseradish. And it is doing awesome. It is doing great. Now the horseradish is the one that I only got one leaf last year. It brought up one tiny spindly little stem and one leaf, and so it is doing absolutely incredible. And I have a second one that's coming up here, and then a third one that's coming up right here. So I'm really excited to see what that does. The plant looks kind of cool when I look at the pictures online, so I'm real anxious to see how that's going to turn out. So my next two beds that are out here are my onions. So these are the ones that I did from those little sets. So I'm not really sure. I really wasn't sure that I was going to get this many. And if you can see, I mean, there's a bunch that have come out in here. If you can see how the ground is kind of ruffled up a little bit there. I came out one day and something had been digging around, and I had a couple of the little sets that were up on top of the dirt, and I did not, like right over there, those are all, I'm guessing that I had them spaced out a lot further than that. So I'm guessing that whatever was rooting around in here moved some of my stuff around a little bit, but I'm going to leave them. We're going to see how they do. My only concern with these, and anybody that knows, y'all can tell me, these are old railroad ties that we had, and they have been sitting out here for years. They're pretty rotten, but they do still have some of this black tar, I guess, stuff on it. And I really did not think about that when I decided to plant my onions in here. I don't know what that's going to do. Will that leach into my soil, and is it going to mess up my onions? I don't know. I didn't think about this until a couple of days ago when it just hit me that, of all things, I probably should not have done a root vegetable in this particular bed, but it's too late now. I'm going to do it, and I'm just hoping for the best that it doesn't do anything to my onions. So, and then this bed over here is, of course, all my little onion starts that I bought off of Etsy, and they are doing absolutely incredible. Etsy is a great place to find starts if you're getting a late start like me. There were several people that still had some, and this lady that I ordered from was super, super sweet. So I will link her again down in the description box if anybody wants to go see if she has anything left. She was absolutely incredible, and I don't see any, even these teeny tiny ones here are still growing. I don't see one. I don't have a blank spot in here. Now this area right here, I ran out, so this is I'm done. This part was empty, and I'm not sure what I'm going to put in here. But none of these are dead. They have all stayed. So so far I have a 100% rate with her stuff. So this one has been really good. And then this bed down here, of course, I also planted some more, and I believe these were just the zinnias down here on this end. I love zinnias, if you can't tell. Those are all doing really good, so I'm happy with that. And then this was the ginger root that I just threw in this thing. I did not take any care with it at all. I believe that what's coming up there is just some little weeds and stuff that have popped up. Oh, you know what? Look. I just now saw that. Look, I have one little sprout that's coming up there. Oh, yay, because I've looked at this so many times and thought, oh, nothing's happening. And I was not careful with this. I just threw them in there and threw some dirt on. I just was trying to, whoops. I just threw them in there and threw some dirt on them. I was just in a hurry to get them in some dirt so that I didn't lose them, and I didn't take any care with them at all. And I was really worried that I wasn't going to get anything. So at least I've got that one coming up. That makes me happy. Okay, so the last one is my greenhouse. Okay, so the last one is my greenhouse. Look at this. It looks so bad. Oh my gosh. But all these boxes will be gone as soon as I get those other two raised beds done. Of course, I'm going to put the cardboard in the bottom of those. That's why those are stacked up here. So I'll get those out of here, and then all the weeds. And see, these are some of my flowers that I bought to just kind of sprinkle through the garden. And I've been gathering up a bunch of pots and stuff like that. I just want something kind of pretty through here. So I have all these. There's my bag of potatoes. I've got to get those planted. I just bought those at my local Tractor Supply, I believe is where I got those. So I need to get those in. So of all of this is all just weeds and stuff that are growing. So I know stuff grows in here. I mean, look at that. Those are doing awesome. And there's a couple of them that are really cool looking. I have no idea what they are. And I told my husband, I said, I might just leave them and let them grow just to see what they do. I don't know what they are. But this is the little spot right here that I planted my garlic. And it's doing really, really well, but I want to get out here and get the rest of my garlic in. And yeah, I'm just, oh my gosh, I'm so late. But this is the bed that is so bad. So I set another one of these plates over here with the stuff in it. And let me see if I can, anytime I do any type of movement over here, maybe we'll get lucky and there won't be, hang on, I'm gonna get a stick because I don't want to touch them. So anytime I disturb the dirt anywhere in this garden, you know what? Oh my gosh, did it work? Yesterday when I came out, they were still everywhere. Everywhere. Guys, I don't see any. There were millions of them. They were all over me so fast, it actually scared me. I went running out of here and I mean, stripping off as I'm running to the house. Oh my, there was no way. I could not have done this. Just barely scraping the top of the dirt yesterday. They were everywhere. Okay, I might have to eat my words. That borax stuff might have worked. They had gotten all in. I had a little bit of this dirt left here. Oh no, look, you see them? So they are definitely still here. Maybe they had just moved out of that one side. And I cannot tell where the nest is. I'm actually wondering if the nest is in this bag. Maybe I could just get rid of that bag. But oh my gosh, they are, you don't see those crawling everywhere. But this is not anywhere near as many. I mean, yesterday it was like the whole ground was moving. So the numbers have definitely dwindled. I can say that. But yeah, wow, okay. Okay, so that is my little bit of a garden update so far. I'm going to set you down over here and I'm going to get this trellis put up. and I've got to get it going. We've got, like I said, more rain coming in. Today I actually think I'm going to be okay. I think we have like a 15% chance or something, so I should be okay today. But tomorrow I believe we have like an 80-something% chance or something like that. So I want to get as much done today as I can so that the rain can get to as much stuff as I need it to. So anyway, I'm gonna set you down over here and let's get these trellises built. So I got that done. I only have it secured with just a couple of zip ties right now. I couldn't find our real heavy duty ones, so I have some stainless steel wire in there. I'm gonna come back when I'm finished with everything and I'm gonna tie it off really good so that it's really good and strong. The only thing I'm worried about is I cut it 16 feet, like the size of a cattle kennel. So it's a, what is it, 4 by 16. And it's really tall on the top, which is fine. It looks great right now. I'm just worried that since it's not the cattle panel, it's a little more flimsy. I'm afraid the weight of the vines growing on it are gonna kind of pull that down a little bit, but I'm gonna leave it. We'll see how it goes this year. We may end up needing to change that along the way, or we may end up having to do something to hold it up sometime this year. We'll see. I wanna see how it does. But I wouldn't expect it to be quite, but I couldn't bury it. These beds weren't quite wide enough, so I had originally intended to kind of bury it down there a little bit, but I was having to kind of bend it to get it to fit in there. So these beds are just a tiny bit shorter than the 4 foot right through there. So, and this one, I would say it was just this one that I ran over, so it's not square anymore, but the other one was the same way. So it's definitely the bed itself. But anyway, so that part's done. I'm gonna go get my lumber and stuff, and I'm gonna get going on getting this trellis built. Okay, let's do a small update on this trellis. I'm exhausted. I'm calling it a night. We did get, you know, of course, this trellis done, the arbor thing here, and then this is our tomato trellis, and I did not realize that I had my camera set where you couldn't see the top of it while we were putting it on there. So I used all of the extra wood that we had here at the house, and my husband was driving him nuts because this side right here is a 2x4 and that end is a 1x4. I just used the old scraps that we had, and then on those cross pieces at the top, I did not have enough of the small ones, which is what I wanted to use, just the little 1-inch ones. So I split it up and I added those 3, and you know, I at least tried to make it look symmetrical anyway. So I don't think it looks bad. I'm happy with it. So I will link the description of where I got this idea. It's from another YouTube channel, so I don't want to take any credit for it, and he's got very extensive instructions on how and why to do this and everything. So I don't want to take any credit for it or anything like that. I just thought this one was really kind of cool, and I was kind of excited to try it. So it's the string method. So on each one of those little boards, you can see there's a little cup hook, and then the string runs down all the way down to let me see if you can see that. Yeah, all the way down there to the tomato plant, and then it's anchored in the ground with just, actually we have a bunch of those little cheap flimsy tent ties that we will never use for a tent, but they worked perfect for this. So I believe what he says to use are the little landscape staples, and these are everybody's good. Actually, they're a little longer than the landscape staples, so I'm hoping they turn out okay. But that's it. And so you just wind the twine around the main stalk of your tomato plant as it grows, and then it goes up to the top. So, and I'll explain a little bit more once I get done. This twine is what I had here, but I don't know if it's going to be strong enough, so I stopped. I didn't want to do a whole bunch of them. I need to run to the store anyway later this evening, so I thought, well, I'm just going to stop for now, and we'll come back and finish that tomorrow. And get all of these done. I mean, they really don't need it yet anyway, so hey, get out of there. Get out of there. I'm wondering if this is my culprit that's digging up my plants here. He's kind of a pest. So anyway, so we got that done. It doesn't look like much, but oh my gosh, I am absolutely exhausted. But I've had to stop and find wood, and I've come out and measured and remeasured and re-remeasured, and I still got it off. But I'm leaving it. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna go with it as is. So Eddie, are you okay? Let's go in the house. Babe! Babe! Hey guys. Okay, I had to end that video rather abruptly yesterday. As I was filming, I looked down and I had just commented, my little dog Frank had come up and was leaning on the edge of the flower bed, or the garden bed, and I had actually commented something about that he might have been the culprit of digging up my stuff, because he digs in my flower beds and stuff, and I've had to get onto him a couple of times. My husband is mowing and I'm trying to get this done. So I had even commented yesterday on the video that, you know, Frank had come up and that he was probably the culprit of digging in my garden beds, because I caught him doing it a couple of times. and I didn't, he breathes really heavy. He has issues with breathing that we've known about for a long time. He overheats really easily. And, you know, we've just become accustomed to it, so I didn't think anything about it. Well, when I turned my camera around, I don't know what he did that caught my eye, but he was sitting there looking at me, and I noticed that his tongue was turning purple. That's usually the telltale sign. And so I grabbed him really quick when I realized something was really wrong. He kind of collapsed up against the fence where I was. And so I ran into the house, and after a little bit of us, you know, trying to assess, was he just overheating? You know, what was the deal? We decided to take him to the vet. And as we're driving down the road, I was driving and my husband was holding him in the passenger seat, and I looked over and I could see blood on his lip. And so we immediately thought snake bite. So we ran him up there, and of course that's what it was. It was pretty bad. By the time we got there, his breathing had gotten so bad, his tongue was just almost completely blue. They had to sedate him and put a tube down his throat and all of that stuff. They did determine, they shaved his lip. He got bit on the lip. They shaved it and determined it was definitely a snake bite. We don't know if it was a cottonmouth or a copperhead, but we're pretty sure it was one of the two. We pretty much ruled out a rattlesnake. Have no idea where he got it. Don't know if he got it up here by the chickens or if he was over there by the garden. We had looked all around and haven't found anything, so I haven't seen one this year. So we have no idea where he was when he got bit. But anyway, he's our baby. We did all of the anti-venom and oh my gosh, I don't know what all they gave him. It's tons of stuff. And he's doing better today. He's much better. He's got a lot more. Come here, Frankie. Frankie, come here, baby. Here. So this is, you gonna turn around here and say hi? So this is my Frankie. Yeah, this is my sweet pea. This is his, yeah. Is it hot? Are you hot? Anyway, he's doing so much better today. He was in so much pain yesterday, and oh my gosh, we were just so glad. We're just down the street from our vet, and that vet is just incredible. All right, I'm gonna put you down. Okay. The other dogs are outside too. Now he wants to go play, so I am glad that he's at least running around, because last night, oh my goodness, he wouldn't do anything. So anyway, he's got a pretty good clean bill of health. From what we understand, it sounds like most dogs survive cottonmouth and copperhead snake bites. The only thing we have to look for now is necrosis at the bite area. They said to watch it. It could take 3 or 4 days, but if that skin starts to die off, they'll have to go in and start cutting that out. So far everything looks good. It's actually kind of pink. It is black along the edge, but I mean, his lips are black anyway, so that part's kind of hard to see, but it looks really good. Nothing looks like anything is dying off or anything as of yet, but it's still early on. They said within 3 or 4 days we would know if anything was happening there. So we just pray for him. He's our little baby, and oh my goodness, just don't want anything to happen to him. So anyway, that garden video got cut off pretty quick. I'm gonna end this video here and just let you guys know that he's good, he's okay, and I will give an update of the garden status and what I've done in the next video, and let y'all see what all's going on, what's growing and everything like that, and what else I put in. So anyway, so just a word of warning for anybody out there, whether you're in Texas or not, it is snake season. And you guys just watch everything, watch everywhere you go, watch every step you make, and you know, make sure that when you're turning over buckets and barrels and bags and boxes and anything you've got, just, you know, make sure you're safe. Just stay safe. Anyway, that's gonna do it from here. I hope everybody's having an awesome day, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Yeah, buddy. How you feeling? Love you.